ANC elective conference, it would, however, seem to be elusive. The events leading to the elective conference with the nullification of the Free State and KZN PECs, the appointment of the interim committees in both of these provinces have been a huge source of division. Coupled to this, the Commission of Inquiry into the state capture and the trial of former President Jacob Zuma. Now, can the ANC go to the 2019 national elections? Now, joining us today in the studio is analyst Levy Ndou. Good evening and thank you very much for joining us on SABC News.
Good evening to you.
Now, Levy, what can we make of all these issues that I've outlined?
Look, Nasrat made an emphasis on the unity of the ANC. And one of the responsibilities given to the leadership of the ANC now is to ensure that the ANC remains united so that they are able to implement their programs and resolutions. And also when they move towards the elections next year, the ANC has to be very much united. But of course there are challenges. As you rightfully mentioned, the structures in the Free State, the structures in KwaZulu-Natal as well. And these are issues, you know, that are the main source of the divisions within the ANC. But also, another biggest blame we need to put it to the leadership of the ANC from Polokwane, because they knew that there were challenges of divisions when they were going to Polokwane, and indeed, instead of dealing with those challenges, they actually participated actively in ensuring that there are more and more divisions within the party.
Now, the term factionalism was all the rage ahead of the elective conference in December. Where does it stand at the moment, bearing in mind that spirit of unity they speak of so much?
There are a number of factors that are contributing towards the disunity within the ANC. In the main is the access to political power within the party, which will then translate to the authority to allocate resources within the state. But also, in the main, is the inability of the ANC from top to bottom not to be able to work on the basis of what is prescribed in their documents. Remember, they've got a very important document that they call Through the Eye of the Needle. And on the basis of that document, you will then, as the ANC, be able to identify leaders that will be beyond divisions, who will actually be working on the basis of the principles of the party. And unfortunately, that is not the case now.
I think I want to go back to what you mentioned earlier on with regards to these challenges. It must be very difficult, though, to avoid divisions, considering that there will always be someone who comes out at the top after an elective conference and somebody who does not win. So how do they deal with that challenge of ensuring that whoever wins gets the support from everyone, regardless of which side they belong to initially?
That is a challenge of a mass-based political party. You'll recall that in 2012, when the ANC was celebrating the centenary, they were quite excited about having reached a 1 million mark in terms of membership. And the question would be, is that how are they able to relate that membership into quality? And that is actually not the case. But also you will have people joining the party for a number of reasons. And one of those being access to political power, which will actually easily translate to the allocation of resources. But then you need what they've actually initiated, political education, to ensure that members that are coming within the party are actually being properly taught and have to understand the basics of what the party is all about. And unfortunately, that remains a challenge within the ruling party.
Now, we're almost less than 12 months until the 2019 elections. Is it fair to question whether or not the ANC is ready for those elections?
Well, I think the ANC always had the machinery to deal with election issues. But if we still have challenges in KwaZulu-Natal, if we still have challenges in the Free State and the Northwest, but also you will still be able to come with that question, and that question will remain relevant. But one other aspect that for me it's worrying for the ANC is the manner in which some members of the ANC are responding to the appearances of former President Zuma in court.
What can we make of that?
There are people within the party who would love to see the ANC divided using the court appearances of President Zuma. And one of the biggest questions that one would ask is, why would you then start pointing fingers at your own members within the party? Because it is the same ANC that has been ensuring that they protect President Zuma, that it does not appear in court. But what is very, very important is that when the Democratic Alliance was led by Helen Zille, they made sure that they get the spy tapes. And when Musima Imane made his speech after he was elected as the leader of the DA, he vowed that he's going to ensure that President Zuma must get his day in court. And that is what has been the program of the DA. And if there are members of the ANC who would start blaming each other within the party, that is a recipe for divisions within the party.
Just finally, we're running out of time, but where to from here, and what should the focus be going forward for the ANC?
I think even though it's sad to lose a person of Winnie Mandela's stature, the morale within the ANC seemed to be revived. And I think the ANC has to start saying from now that Winnie Mandela is gone, let us use her departure in ensuring that we revive our structures and use her funeral to unite the ANC across all provinces and prepare for the 2019 elections.
Levy, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We'll have to leave it there. That was analyst Levy Ndou joining us for just a brief discussion on the current issues within the ANC.